Hi everyone, and welcome to another update for the weapon spray test prototype. So the changes that I've made since last time are some slight changes to the layout of the map. So we'll see that in a couple minutes, but first I wanted to go over a few other things first. So first off, each weapon now has its own damage value, and it changes on the target depending on where you shoot it. So head is, I think, 3 times the normal damage, and then legs is, I think, like half the damage, rounded up. There's still the other type of target, this one here, which outputs a value depending upon where you shot it rather than the actual damage. Yeah, this is mainly to demonstrate a couple other changes that have been made and additions, mainly to do with the spray damage multiplier and recoil and whatnot. So yeah, let's quickly go over a few things. So first off, the spray randomness has been changed. So if we go over here, make sure use recoil is off. Should be off, yeah. So if we just spray into this, and I need to reload already. One thing I have added is if you shoot this little ball here, it gets rid of all the decals. So if we shoot into the wall, make the pattern, you'll see, oops, turned it back on. You'll see pattern's normal, looks exactly the same as it does here. If we add randomness to that, say 0.5, then I'll add a slight amount of randomness to it. So if we go back and start shooting again, I think I actually need to re-equip the weapon. Alright. So yeah, as you can see, it's trying to follow the same pattern, but it has a slight randomness to it now. This can be altered however much you want, so if you really wanted, you could go all the way up to 5, even though it would not look the same, like, at all. So yeah, as you can see, it's going everywhere now. So you'd probably want to put the value to somewhere in the 0.5 region, maybe 0.1 for like very slight randomness. So if we do that real quick, you'll see that it still closely resembles this, just with a little bit of extra random elements to it. So yeah, that's the first thing that's been fixed for today. So next added, as you'll probably already have seen, is 2 more options per spray location. So the first one is spray damage multiplier and then spray recoil multiplier. So the spray damage multiplier is simply a multiplier applied to the damage of that specific shot. So if I put it to about 2 times. So you saw before that the damage on the head was 45, whereas now it's 130. Oh wait, I think yeah, 90. Sorry, I needed to quote unquote re-equip the weapon. So as you can see, it's doing double the damage that it did previously, and we can put that all the way up to 5 if we want. I need to re-equip the weapon. I still need to change that where you don't have to actually re-equip the weapon. But yeah, so if I say put that, oh wait, no, I'm on the wrong one, sorry. If I put that back down to 2 and then put this one to about 1.5, you'll see that I need to, yeah, there we go. First one, okay, I'm doing really bad with this because I keep forgetting to re-equip the weapon. But see, the first one is 90, then it's 67. So it can be altered in any sort of way you want. So you could get a Counter-Strike sort of thing going where the first shot in the recoil pattern does the most amount of damage and then it slowly starts dropping off as you go down. But yeah, next thing to look at is the spray recoil multiplier. I've got it set up so the first two are 5 times the normal recoil. So if I just bring those back down to 1 real quick, you'll see here's the, oh, need to re-equip, keep forgetting to do that. But the normal recoil is about that much, and that changes the pattern slightly. But if I were to go back in and say put it to first maybe 3 to 5, then you'll see the first 3 shots are more spread out compared to the rest of the shots. Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to talk about is rather than having a multiplier in the top left, I've decided to go for a spray at a certain distance. So this basically indicates what the spray will look like at a certain distance. So this is what it should look like at a distance of 10 meters. So if you wanted to change that to say 20 meters, then if you were to go over to this target over here, oops, still got recoil on. Let's turn that off. And that's it's gonna use up all the ammo real quick. Okay, so if we were to shoot at a 20-meter distance target, you'd see that it looks exactly how it does here now. And then if we were to go back to the 10-meter distance that we used earlier, the spray would look a lot smaller. So instead, if we were to bring it back the other way and say put it at 5 meters and just clear the decals, you'll see that the spray will become a lot bigger. So hopefully that's a better representation of how the spray multiplier would work, rather than just having it as just a random float that changes how everything works. You can actually sort of gauge what it would look like at a certain distance rather than it. So yeah, that's the update for today. Thanks for watching. In fact, you know what?